money does a YouTube commentary creator actually make? A little over 2 years ago now, I posted a video that has since amassed 1.3 million views where I talk about how much money I made in my first 30 days as a monetized creator here on YouTube. Let me just preface this video by saying that this is not a YouTube growth channel. I do not regularly make content about making money on YouTube or how much money I make on YouTube. So please, 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 I am literally begging you, do not subscribe to this channel if that is the type of content you are looking for. But I do have a couple reasons why I wanted to make this video. I think that there is a very big lack of transparency in general about how much money content creators, YouTubers make in their videos. I think specifically for creators who are not in the niche of how to grow on YouTube or how to become a content creator or how to make a YouTube channel, no one's really talking about how much money they get paid for the views on their channel. I also think there's this weird misconception of if you have a lot of subscribers, then that translates to a lot of money getting paid out to you, which isn't necessarily true. And for me personally, I think that this warrants a discussion specifically because of the type of content I make where I am critical of other people and their behavior. A lot of the feedback that I tend to get from those people who have been featured in videos of mine is accusing me of leveraging other people's personas and personal brands in order to generate my own business revenue. And to me, that particular type of criticism demonstrates to me that a lot of people, I think, have really no idea how much YouTubers are making, specifically small YouTubers who aren't getting tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of views. Like if you take a scroll through my channel, it's very obvious that most of my videos only get like 1,000 to 3,000 views. And so I can assure you, and I'm going to show you the actual numbers, that I am not getting rich out here making YouTube videos. I do this because I love it, and I want to peel back the curtain for those of you who are maybe thinking about starting a YouTube channel and you think it's going to be this super lucrative opportunity for you to make a lot of money. That might not be the case depending on your content. So let's go ahead and let's jump right in. When it comes to actually getting paid as a monetized creator on YouTube, there's a few different ways that we make money. The first and most obvious one being YouTube AdSense, which is basically the revenue you get for the ads that run on your videos. Secondly, you can receive income if you have a channel membership, which is essentially like a monthly subscription that people can pay for to get access to certain perks, maybe early access to your content, special emojis, that sort of thing. And then there's also the super chat or super sticker feature, which is basically where viewers are able to send the creator essentially like a tip. So they can send, $1, $5, $10, whatever, as a thank you for the content that they're creating. I do want to take this opportunity to thank my channel members, particularly those of you in the VIP mastermind tier, as well as my rich friends in the billionaire tier. Thank you so much for the continued support of my content. I know it's been a rocky few months, but we are getting back into it, and I appreciate you all so much. Now, I think it is important to note that whether you're a creator or you're just curious, YouTube does keep a cut of all of the revenue that you generate. So when it comes to AdSense revenue, YouTube will keep 45% of whatever it is they charge the advertisers. And then when it comes to things like super chats, memberships, etc., revenue from your audience, essentially, YouTube keeps around 30% of that. So if someone sends me a $1 super chat, I receive 70 cents and YouTube gets to keep 30 cents. And then, of course, those numbers are before taxes. So what I receive as the creator, I will then have to deduct tax on as well. Okay, so getting into the actual numbers for this particular video, we're going to look at a few different things. I thought it would be interesting to start with my 12 most recent uploads. So videos that I have scripted, filmed, edited, and then uploaded to my channel. So you'll see those on screen here. And what I've done is I've gone into the YouTube Studio, which is like the back end that we can see as creators. And I've looked up my estimated lifetime revenue for each of those videos since they've been published. So any amount of money that I have generated from those uploads since the date that I uploaded them to YouTube. Essentially in total for my last 12 videos, which is again, basically everything that I have published that was pre-recorded over the course of the last about 5 months, I think, I made a total of $305.13. Keeping in mind too that if you're American and you're watching this, I'm in Canada, so these values are in Canadian dollars. So that's actually probably about 30 to 40% less if you are in the US, and you can basically assume it's around $200 USD. So if we take that number, the $305.13, and we factor in the time that I spent filming, editing, scripting, etc. for those videos, even on the low end, if we say that it's 6 hours per video, I would assume it's actually probably at least 8 hours, but let's just say 6. We times that 6 hours by the 12 videos. We get 72 hours of work that went into generating that revenue. So we divide the $305 by 72. I'm basically making a little over $4 Canadian per video. And again, that's the price before tax. So you also have to take like another 30% off of that. And that's being generous. Now, if you aren't familiar with my content, live streaming is like a huge part of the type of content that I make here. And I go live basically every Monday for usually around 2 hours. So let's take a look at my 12 latest live streams and see. So once again, I went into YouTube Studio and I looked up how much money I made for each individual stream since they've been published. If you want to pause and read that, you can. But basically, the total of my 12 most recent live streams, which is about a 3-month period, I've generated a total of $162.67. And so again, if we estimate that I spend 2 hours streaming and then probably about an hour making the thumbnail, writing the description, gathering the content, fixing the end screen after it's been completed, that sort of thing. We take the 3 hours, we times it by the 12 different videos, we get 36 hours. And so if we divide that $162.67 by 12, I am once again making a little bit over $4.50 per hour Canadian before taxes. And so I don't know where you watching this video live, but where I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, this is well below minimum wage and also significantly below the living wage for Vancouver. So just something to think about. And so even going through all of that, I'm sure it's cool to see, you know, how much money people are making. People are nosy. You're probably nosy. I'm really nosy. I want to know this stuff. And so in saying that, I think it's important to note that there is sort of this like passive income element to YouTube, as much as I hate that term. But basically what that means is once you upload a video to your YouTube channel, you have the potential to continue to make money off those videos indefinitely as long as you still have it publicly listed. And so while I might publish, you know, 4 to 6 live streams and videos per month, there are videos that are still bringing me revenue month after month, even though I uploaded them, you know, 1, 2, 3 years ago. And so your YouTube payout month to month is actually an accumulation of any new views that you received in that like 30 to 31 day window. So if we take a look here, I'll pop it up on the screen of my YouTube payouts for the last 6 months. You can see here that on average, the range is anywhere from like $400 to $600 that hits my business bank account each month. And from those monthly totals, you can see that during that 6-month period, this is the breakdown from what came from AdSense, what came from memberships, what came from super chats, etc. That's what this breakdown here is showing. Now, if we go into YouTube Studio and we scroll over to my top performing content and see what videos actually brought me that revenue during that 6-month period of May to October in 2025, you can see that there is a video here at the top that I published in May of 2023, which is the video where I discuss how much money YouTube paid me. And it is still my top performing video 2 years later. So in that 6-month period, 2 years later, it still brought me $300, which is crazy. And yes, the irony is not lost on me that my highest paying YouTube video is a video where I'm talking about YouTube paying me, okay? And then if we look past sort of that video, you'll see, you know, my regular content is there. And over the course of the last 6 months, each of those videos has paid well below $100. And so then I even went over to my YouTube Shorts, which pays basically just pennies, but I wanted to see, you know, how much money I made in the 6 months, but also which videos brought me that revenue. And my top performing YouTube short, again, is from a video that I posted on May 31st, 2023, and it brought me about $3 over the last 6 months. And so I really just wanted to bring this up because I really think the content of YouTube in comparison to other social media platforms is just so different. Like the longevity of videos on YouTube and the fact that you can continue to make money off content you published long ago is something you can really leverage as a creator. Particularly if you are someone who suddenly has a video that pops off. I think there's kind of this opportunity that we don't see elsewhere where you can ride older content for new viewers, if that makes sense. Like I recently had someone in my comments who's been commenting on live streams from like 2 or 3 years years ago. And it's very clear to me that every day they're going through and watching an old live stream. And it's just so funny because I don't think on any other platform would you see someone, or would you even, like, as a consumer, I don't think I would find a creator and then scroll back and watch their old videos. But YouTube is just like a lot more timeless in that sense. And I think as a creator, it just demonstrates the opportunity we have to continue to make money on the seeds we've sowed years and years ago. Even if it's just like a few dollars or cents, I think it's just a kind of cool thing to think about. Okay, so I might have gotten a little bit off track at the end there, but it's been a long time since I've filmed one of these how much money YouTube paid me videos. So I'm not really quite sure how to wrap this up, but I guess I'll just conclude here by saying that to date in 2025, I've published 29 long form videos. I've conducted 38 live streams, and I've published 38 YouTube shorts. In that time period, my YouTube channel has generated a total estimated revenue of $6,230.24. Okay, my audio kind of gets distorted in this part of the clip, so I'm recording this in post, but I did just want to quickly go over my CPM and RPM for 2025. So to date, my CPM sits at $14.44, and this is the cost per mil, so how much it costs the advertiser to run ads on my content. And then my RPM, which is the rate per mil, so the rate that I receive per 1,000 views, which is a combination of that advertiser rate, super chats, memberships, YouTube premium, etc. Like I outlined earlier. My RPM for the year of 2025 so far has been $14.31. Keeping in mind that that number is very specific to my channel, and it really can vary quite drastically depending on what type of content your YouTube channel makes. Honestly, it can be anywhere from like $2 to $20, $30, $40, depending on your niche. But for me personally, all that to say, if my video gets 1,000 views, I'm probably making somewhere close to that $14.45 mark. And so until I start getting tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views on my videos, I will not be quitting my business to make YouTube my full-time job. All that to say, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. You can leave your questions in the comments down below. Please do not subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this, because you're definitely not going to, but feel free to leave your thoughts down below. Take care, comb your hair, and maybe I'll see you on the internet. Bye.